We're back! Connor got a new computer, and so I'm the one, of course, he leaves it to me to make sure to set everything back up, so, alright, we're starting late, let's get this started before we go to BestPancake. We've read the tits. Woo! Also, I fixed the mic stuff. Okay, we can actually voice act bullshit, okay.
He's gonna kill himself.
I've already done it. It's over.
I have him on suicide watch. I'm so worried.
Hold on, let me pull this.
Who's the
Just triple track here.
Oh,
this is you.
Too far.
This is you.
Okay. Is Hojo-san?
Yeah. Okay. Get close.
Who's Hojo-san? Who's asking that? Oishi, me, Keiichi? Chie. Okay.
And make sure we're
Yeah.
we're getting close to the mic.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah, I just do what I usually do. I'm always like right here.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, we're good. Thumbs up. I just have to remember. You gotta click me back. I just have to remember how to do it.
Yes. Hello.
We're just gonna go with that.
Why is Hojo-san staying home today too? Furude-san, do you know anything?
The teacher's voice wasn't critical, but Rika-chan hung her head, unable to answer, and I felt really bad for her. Hey, I actually started well this time. The teacher called Rika-chan up, and they had an exchange in hushed tones at the dais. At first, Rika-chan said that Satoko's fever had grown worse, but everyone in the class knew it was a lie. Because every day, Rika-chan brought Satoko's bento with her.
Satoko-chan, I wonder what happened.
So Satoko's dead, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't ask me. I'm the one who wants to know most of all. It was already the third day since Satoko's first absence. Ever since then, I haven't felt good. Until last Sunday, everything had been so much fun. I had reached out to Satoko like a real older brother, and we spent that time quietly, but warm and comfortable. So why had it suddenly been flipped over? Dude, I burped and that was like all fucking stomach acid. That felt awful.
God. Oh, I can fucking taste it too. It's like, Jesus, I don't want you, don't describe that.
You know exactly what I'm on
I know
about.
exactly what you mean.
The more I thought about it, the more I thought that the world had taken a turn for the worst ever since Oishi arrived. Ever since Oishi arrived. I wanted to say like the arrival of Oishi. Thinking on it now, this track is good.
Yeah.
Maybe the strange apprehensions plaguing me the night before Oishi arrived had been a sign. Kuraudo Oishi, Oyashiro-sama's servant. Shit, that's impossible. They can't decide Satoko will be the curse victim this year just because he showed up. Just what sort of slip-up had I committed to? What? Just what sort of slip-up had I committed to cause those fun times to end so suddenly? Yes, it was the day before Oishi appeared. Shion, Mion, and Rena had spoken of the curse surrounding Satoshi and his disappearance, and it was so sinister it gave me a bad premonition. Such a small thing was the slip-up that invited Oyashiro-sama's servant? It was absurd. I kept on groaning to myself that I would never accept it, ever. I obviously wasn't the only one suppressing my feelings. Mion and Rena were too. I almost called her Rina. Everyone in class was doing it. It's like my brain forgets how to fucking read after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Rika-chan knew something about Satoko's situation, but she wouldn't tell us. Rika-chan still held a calm attitude, like a cat basking in the sun. God, I wish that was me. Me. But she was being unbelievably stubborn about this whole thing. She didn't want to tell us. Then that wouldn't change no matter how many times we asked her. Did you make sure to put the recording on separate audio tracks?
Yes, I did set that up.
Okay, good. I'm like, I gotta, we'll catch it now.
You know what?
Let's look. You want to look? Let's look. As to now. All right. It's fine.
It's fine.
Fuck it.
We're doing it.
We'll do it live.
It's good.
It's the fucking classic. Fuck it. We'll do it live. All right. We got this. It's all good. It's all good in the hood, right? I'll start from the top. Rika-chan still had a calm. Rika-chan still had a. Fuck. Rika-chan. I'm retarded. I'm sorry.
Just slow down.
Rika-chan still held a calm attitude, like a cat basking in the sun. But she was being unbelievably stubborn about the whole thing. She didn't want to tell us, and that wouldn't change no matter how many times we asked her. Everyone understood that, so nobody questioned her.
If Rika-chan won't talk, then we just have to wait. And she might not be talking because it's not something worth saying.
The part that makes me sad is my favorite voice to do is Rat.
Yeah, exactly.
There was no persuasive power and reassurance given with an anxious face like that. Mion moment. Mion fucking killed Satoko for fun.
I can't wait for Higurashi, buddy. I'm so excited.
Mion was being taciturn and just looked up at the sky with a somehow annoyed expression.
Taciturn, but
Taciturn, my bad. I couldn't tell if she was unhappy that Rika-chan wouldn't talk about it with her own friends, or if she was concerned over Sadako's well-being. And what about me? My anxiety was suffocating me, day after day. If someone else were looking at me, then maybe I'd look annoyed, like Mion did. Tap, tap. Sadako? Someone tapped my shoulder. It was Tomata-kun and Okamura-kun.
Mayabana-san, do you have a minute?
Did your ball get stuck again? You guys have to get it yourselves this time. Don't rely on the older kids for everything. I didn't feel like going along with them, so I was a little unsympathetic with my response.
We heard a little interesting rumor.
The music just stops. A rumor?
Yeah, I just thought it might be something to do with that.
A rumor? About Sadako. They hadn't said that, but it didn't seem unrelated. They didn't want to talk in the classroom, so they pulled me behind the school building, lending further credence to that thought. The back of the school was damp and humid like always. The students didn't really come here because they wanted to. It might, however, have been the ideal location for trading rumors away from prying eyes. And then they pan up, and like Oishi's on the ceiling like he's Batman.
he's just hanging off like Spider-Man or like just off the side of the building.
Mayabana-san.
Mayabana-san. And his neck just slowly turns backwards. It's the Steam logo. And as it turns, it goes, Mayabana.
All I can hear is just the fucking like Steam Valve intro, like as you're talking about. You know, like you open Left 4 Dead, it's like the fuck. Oh my god, it's been so long since I heard the Valve intro.
Right.
Oh man, I love Oishi. I miss him.
I'm thinking of like the intro to Freeman's Mind is what is popping up in my head, but that's not it.
Tomata-kun, Okamura-kun. These rumors, they're about why Sadako is absent, right?
We don't know if it had something to do with it, though. Or maybe...
I don't know if I read that correctly at all.
What on earth happened to Sadako? Is she sick? Or could she be, like, really sick? Or injured or something?
Sick or really sick?
The two genders.
True.
No, actually, it's the opposite. I heard my grandma saying that she came to buy tofu at our shop yesterday. Oh, Tomito's family runs a tofu shop.
Yeah, it was because you outlawed me from being Mario.
Yeah.
Added Okamura-kun. She went shopping? To buy some tofu? My voice sounds so stupefied even I can tell. It was understandable. I was worried about what grave illness or injury she had, when the person herself had been out and about shopping for tofu. So, how was she? Did she look okay? Was she wearing a mask? Like she was getting better? Or was she using crutches? Or did she have bandages on her?
No, there wasn't really any signs of sickness or injuries on her, but
I should have felt relieved that it wasn't an illness or an injury. But my anxiety wasn't going away.
this is basically my Keiichi voice.
I think I've settled into this because I can actually, like...
You can actually express.
I can express, and it doesn't, like, feel like I'm swallowing glass all the time. Because Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun's expressions weren't looking any better.
She apparently came to buy one piece of soft tofu, but my grandma said it was strange.
Strange? Why? What's wrong with buying soft tofu? Irritated by how roundabout they were being, I had to desperately fight that irritation from creeping into my voice.
Well, Hojo and Furude live by themselves, and they don't have that much money, right? So they only ever buy the cheaper, firmer kind of tofu. They've never bought the soft stuff. It's the most expensive thing there.
That's just funny to me. It's like, oh, she bulled out to buy something. That's weird. She's got to be like a ghost. Soft or hard, they're both tofu, right? And maybe she wanted to eat some great tofu or something.
Well, maybe, but
I knew how transparent I sounded right then. This wasn't anything trivial. It was some kind of important clue. Not the cheap, firm tofu, but the expensive, soft kind. Shopping not in the evening after school, but in the middle of the day. I couldn't figure out what those things meant. As I thought hard about it, Okamura-kun took his turn to speak.
me next. This is just a rumor, but apparently he's back.
Satoshi?
Satoshi's back?
He? Who? Who's back?
Hojo's uncle.
Oh, yeah, that lines up, like, a lot, and I already kind of knew that was coming, right? But, like, I think I really threw myself off when I said Satoshi.
You fucking just
Like,
yourself.
yeah, like, I remember they were talking about, his uncle's, like, her uncle's gone, like, probably coming back and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I threw myself off by just going, oh, Satoshi's back!
By like starting to meme, like,
Yeah.
and then you just actually made it true in your head.
Yeah, I was like, I confirmation biased myself. I was like, wait, who is he? Satoshi's uncle. Right, I think Coach told me about him. Their aunt and uncle had taken them in after Satoko and Satoshi lost their parents in the accident.
Hojo's uncle. They say he skipped town last year, scared of Oyashiro-sama's curse. He's really scary and violent, like a gang member.
Everything Coach told me came back in bits and pieces. Right. The mean aunt and uncle who had tormented them all the time. I think he said that after their aunt was beaten to death by the deviant, he ran away to his lover's house in Okinomiya in fear of the curse. Why would she be staying home from school and shopping for soft tofu in the middle of the day just because her uncle came back?
That was the wrong noise.
I like that. I like that one. My underclassmen clammed up and looked downwards. There must have been...
Fucking voice acting.
It's the, like, anime moan grunt that's in, like, every fucking game when something happens, and they just... Yep. There must have been some big hint buried in there. Even if I didn't understand it, if I told Mion or Rina about it, maybe they'd know something. Oh, my bad. You two... You were nice enough to talk about it, and I started hammering you with questions.
Oh, no, it's okay. No.
Now we know that she hasn't been in bed this time.
This whole time.
Now we know that she hasn't been in bed this whole time, gravely ill. That's worth something, right? Yeah, but her current situation
No, I guess
is...
that was like Okamura.
Her current situation is worse. That might be true, but it still won't. It won't make the clouds over my mind fade away.
Mayabara-san, over there.
Oishi! Okamura-kun cried wildly, pointing over my shoulder behind me. Oishi! Oishi! Startled, I turned around and... and way on the other side of the schoolyard, near the school gate, I saw a figure trudging forth. Well, that's not Oishi!
Higurashi.
Ah!
Oh my god, that's gonna peak it no matter what.
That was probably my best line read I think I've done in this entire series.
It's Hojo.
It's just Keiichi screaming.
Yeah. 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 Hold on. That's what that's for.
I burst into a run faster than I could speak, so that as quickly as possible, I could see with my own eyes that she was okay. Satoko! Satoko seemed taken aback by me shouting and running over to her. He fucking just like haymaker over the top, punches her right in the fucking head. No! My, what is it, Keiichi-san? You surprised me with all the yelling and running. What? Ugh. Stupid. Enough about me already. 3 days! What happened, Satoko? I was so worried. I love Keiichi. Oh, what a worrywart. It was only 3 days. You're such a worrywart, Keiichi-san. From listening to her, she seemed like the normal Satoko, but I could clearly tell she was acting strangely. Her smile was somewhat forlorn, and her complexion was bad for some reason.
Hojo, were you alright? Were you sick or something?
Tomata-kun and Okamura-kun both expressed their concerns. Still Keiichi, yeah. Thank you. Just, what happened anyway? 3 days! Do you know how worried I was? No, I do so apologize. I was just giving the house a good cleaning. We haven't used it for a rather long time, so everything was covered in dust. Huh? Satoko, what are you talking about? Why would you have to stay home from school to clean the house? Satoko didn't answer me. Instead, she passed by me and headed for the entrance. Gosh! It's nearly about lunchtime, is it not? I'm just starving. It was certainly lunch break. I couldn't force her to stop after she told me she wanted lunch since she was so hungry. Well, whatever. Rika-chan's been bringing your lunch for 3 days now. You look like you can eat it today. Let's just get to the classroom and put everyone's minds at ease. Yeah, you're right. I suppose I may have caused everyone to worry. Oh, it sure is tough being popular. I hate Satoko. I put a hand on Satoko's shoulders and we ran to the classroom together. Up close, I was able to verify that Satoko looked somehow weak. All this anxiety was supposed to go away when I saw her again. That's what I had thought. But now, I actually started to have quite different fears. Can Keiichi's parents adopt Satoko? Like, can they just adopt Sadako and Rika, and then no one has to die this chapter, and like we can just have a good, like, happy ending?
They'll just do that. Yeah, they'll agree to that.
That's how this chapter ends.
That's how
right?
the chapter ends. They adopt Sadako, and like
and-
Keiichi asks them, they just say, "Oh yes, Keiichi. Well, we totally think that's okay."
They adopt Sadako, they get Rika in there too, so she doesn't have to live alone at the shrine, and they just live as one big happy goofy family in Hinamizawa.
Yeah.
And then Oishi solves the problem, and the curse ends, and her uncle burns in hell, and
Finally, it's a happy
Hinamizawa
end.
over.
It's happy ending.
When They Cry ends. Congratulations. Woo! All this anxiety was supposed to go away when I saw her again. That's what I had thought. Oh, I already read that. What the heck happened, Sadako? Interesting delivery, Keiichi. Everyone in the class, of course, reacted in the same way I had. Ooh.
We're worried about you.
I'm glad to see you well.
What were you doing for 3 days?
Our classmates showered her in questions. I truly do apologize for causing a fuss. As she cackled, she chowed down on the bento Rika-chan had made for her. Those in the teacher's lounge must have been informed of Sadako's arrival, because our teacher sprinted into the classroom, her breathing ragged. Chie! Oh yes, Chie! This is what I did earlier, right?
I don't know. You just like threw something out.
It just kind of like I blacked out and then I came back when Chie was gone. Hojo-san!
Yeah, stay well away from the mic with that one.
Why do you think I backed up? Like, why do you think I was back here when I dropped the fucking Hojo-san, dude?
Hojo!
Yeah, that's why I'm like back here, bro. Oh, Sensei. Yeah, I'm sorry for worrying you these 3 days. Oh, as you can see, I am as fit as a fiddle. I agree. My, I was very worried about you. When you are done eating, come right to the teacher's lounge. I have a lot to talk to you about. Chie's pissed. I must be in for a good scolding for those 3 days I cut class. Sadako laughed sheepishly while she scratched her head, and the rest of the class burst out into laughter. The teacher was acting angry, but she breathed a sigh of relief at seeing Sadako healthy and smiling, as she ate her lunch with the class surrounding her. What a relief, Raggy!
Oh my god.
What a relief, right, Rena? No.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm glad she's okay.
I looked at Rena and knew. She had a sense that something about Sadako was off, too. I looked to see Mion detached from the clamor as well, with a somewhat grim expression. Hey, remember when Mion killed Sadako last chapter? Me too. But Rika-chan, on the other hand, was smiling ear to ear. She spread out the bento boxes one by one as Sadako finished them. Sadako hasn't eaten for 3 days. Finally, Sadako was satisfied, and after enjoying a thorough conversation with her classmates, remembered that she'd been called to the teacher's lounge. It's such a pain, but I think she'll be angrier. I think she'll be angrier if I don't go.
Thank you, Satoko.
I'll go with you.
I'll keep that in the final one. Sadako rises from her seat, and Rika-chan runs over to her. I do apologize, Keiichi-san. I'll be right back after getting scolded. Right. I mean, I could go with you too. We're all comrades in getting scolded in the teacher's lounge ever since the curry incident, right? That won't be necessary. Nope.
That won't be necessary. Keiichi should... Keiichi should mind the place while we're away.
Sorry, I'm doing my... Actually, I'm tripping.
What is that?
I was gonna move it back to my USB thing over there, but then I realized I need to download more music, so I need it connected to my PC. Rika-chan's words were gentle, but the firm rejection was clear in her eyes. I think you have to click me back in, yeah. TUI. The two of them exited into the hallway, walking shoulder to shoulder. After seeing them off, the class breathed a collective sigh of relief, broke apart, and went back to their usual lunch break banter. We, however, couldn't go back to how we usually were. Mion's pissed. Not I, not Mion, and of course not Rena. They stared at the classroom exit Satoko and Rika-chan had left through, their expression a little distant and grim. We're all friends, isn't that right? He's so dumb.
He's an interesting fellow.
Everyone is sitting there like pondering their own shit. And Keiichi's just like, we're all friends, right, guys? I blurted out something strange, so Mion and Rina turned around with dubious expressions. I'm sorry, I like the word dubious a lot.
Okay.
I won't keep anything from my friends.
Oh my god, Connor. What, are you okay?
I just hear Corn. So Corn will send pictures of like his baby chicks, and he'll go, "What a dubious little fella," and then put them in his mouth. And it'll be like a video of him with like a baby turkey, and the text just says, "Check out this dubious little guy," and it's just a video of him taking a turkey and just going, "Huh."
Oh yes, what a dubious little guy. I'm going to swallow you. Just picks them up and...
So I read the word dubious, and I just like in my brain I'm just looking at Keiichi and I'm like, oh, what a dubious little fella.
What a dubious little man over here.
And then this guy is like, hey guys, we're all friends. I wouldn't keep anything from my friends. You want to hear this rumor I just got? Like, Keiichi, man, come on. Like, have some tact.
I think that is like him trying to have tact.
Yeah, but he's like overdoing it, so it's like too far.
Anytime Keiichi tries to do anything, he overdoes it. So
That's
it's like,
facts. That's actually
so
the
this
truth.
is literally just him being as tactful as he can be.
I won't keep anything from my friends, so I'll tell you what I just heard a little while ago. I told them the stories I heard from Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun earlier about the tofu shop and how Sadako's uncle had apparently come back, all at once without letting them speak. And that's all I know, so if either of you knows anything, please say so. I've said everything I can. He's trying so hard. I ended my sentence firmly and looked into Mion and Rina's eyes in return. Or in turn. Rina stared right back at me. Her eyes didn't falter. Without even opening her mouth, I could tell she wasn't hiding anything. Then our gazes turned to Mion.
What?
I hate Mion. Inferior Sonozaki twin, by the way.
Cutting that.
You can't do that! You are censoring me!
I am censoring you. You're fucking spreading misinformation, motherfucker.
No, I am not!
We censor misinformation here.
Fucker! It's not like I was trying to keep it a secret or anything. Mion couldn't seem to endure our silent stares and began to talk timidly, as if she was guilty of something. It's just, now that you've said something, Kei-chan, I guess I have to talk about it.
Me-chan, you know something?
I literally almost went, Me-chan! I was like, Well, I mean, I knew from the first day that Sadako's uncle had come home. That he just randomly showed up in Hinamizawa last Sunday. Why didn't you tell us that? I'm sorry. My angry shout caused Mion to flinch away, look down, and hang her head uncomfortably. That is because she is in love with Keiichi. I am just gonna keep the canon from all the different routes where like Keiichi and Rena like are really good together and Onikakushi. And then like Mion is in love with Keiichi from Watanagashi and like Shion is in love with Keiichi from Watanagashi. They're all canon across all timelines.
All canon. Yeah, exactly.
Keiichi pulls bitches, bro.
Keiichi-kun, it's nothing to get angry about. You're scaring me, Chan.
Fuck Mion. Sorry I shouted at you. I lowered my head in apology. Mion accepted it, collected herself, and continued. According to her, her uncle's relationship with his lover, whom he had been with in Okinomiya, had collapsed. Without anywhere to go, he went back home to Hinamizawa. And on that Sunday, the day of the barbecue, her uncle ran into Satoko and brought her back to the house. Why? Did he bring her with him?
Because he's a good-for-nothing parasite. He can't even cook by himself, much less do any cleaning.
But that's... He brought Satoko-chan back just to have her cook and clean?
Child abuse.
Dab. Child abuse. Dab. Why'd you do that? You know I'm making fun of you, right?
You just looked at me and went, dab.
You fucking nay-nay, motherfucker!
I know! But you just looked at me and just went, dab. Like, that was the most stock sound effect I've ever heard. And then you don't even, like, get into it. You just go, like... It's one of those after-school Disney specials where they're trying to be hip with the fucking kids.
Oh my god.
And you're like an 85-year-old man playing a 17-year-old? That's what that was. Oh, how do I get the text back? What'd I hit? Oh, cool, thanks. I remember that she said she'd been cleaning the house when I met her back at the school gate. A moment later, the pieces fell into place, into the jigsaw puzzle of unease.
Jigsaw puzzle of unease.
I like, that's a good expression.
Good? Yeah,
That's
I like
good.
that.
That's really good. And as for what the puzzle depicted, when I saw it from afar, I could see the answer clearly. I'm making like every fucking noise ever. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Satoko was locked up at home and tormented into doing the housework. Those are the rumors.
If you knew that, then why didn't you speak up? I nearly yelled that at Mion, but hastily stopped myself. So he probably got the like, what? And then like cut himself off, you know?
Me-chan, is that true?
I haven't seen it myself, so I don't know if it's true or not.
But there is a history of that. Mion looked down again, and staring at the floor, grew quiet.
Just like last year? Like when they lived with their mean uncle and his wife?
But this uncle is completely helpless when it comes to housework, right? If Satoko's that important, then there wouldn't be any reason to torment her, would there?
Keiichi-kun, I don't know what grounds you have for saying that, but you shouldn't be so irresponsible.
What?
He said, if Satoko, there wouldn't be any reason to torment her, but that's just not fucking true. That doesn't make any sense, Keiichi. Why are you making excuses?
Am I right click on? I think I'm retarded. I think I'm just like stupid. Okay, I am dumb. My brain, like, I've realigned the neurons.
Okay.
I'm starting to buff it out a little bit. It's not as smooth anymore. Rena clearly and directly got mad at me. You don't know much about this, so don't talk as though you do. Yes, that's clearly what she meant. Fine. Then do you know something, Rena?
I don't know anything either.
Cat?
I don't know her. I don't know her uncle. I didn't know her uncle had taken her to the house until hearing it just now. But the situation is different from a year ago.
So it involves Cap. I'm sorry, it's very quick. One of the guys on my team, he'll look at you and he'll go, "No Cap." Like grab the brim of the hat and put it on. It's awful. He's like a 95-year-old man. I love him. The situation is different. Oh, what does that mean?
Satoshi-kun isn't here.
I like that delivery.
Satoshi really cared about his little sister. He always stuck up for her. He was her shield, so that she would be affected just a little less by their mean aunt and uncle's fighting.
The mean uncle and Satoko-chan are the only ones living there now. Can't you imagine how stifling that must be, Keiichi-kun? He only ever came back because his broke up.
Manga gamer!
Manga gamer.
It's been years!
He only even came back because he broke up with the woman he was staying with. Do you think do you think a person who came back for such an unpleasant reason would be able to treat Satoko-chan kindly?
Remember when his girlfriend got like ripped into pieces?
Yeah. She was right. It wasn't easy for me to imagine Sadako not being tormented. Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry too. I sounded like I was interrogating you, didn't I? How?
Among Us? I'm sorry. An awkward atmosphere floated among us.
Connor, you can't.
Get out of my head, 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 get out of my head! The three of us. Editor's note for Tyler in the future. When I like yell Among Us really loud, I want you to like make the Among Us thing of Keiichi and get a vine boom in there and just flash him on screen real quick. And just replace like the visor on like the brown Among Us guy with just Keiichi's like shitty PNG face. And then just vine boom.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, future me. He's gonna have to listen to that in the fucking...
You're gonna listen to that, you're gonna laugh, and you're gonna go, he was right. The three of us...
I'm gonna put it behind the visor. See? He's already thinking about it. He's already thinking about it.
The three of us remained silent and just stared at the floor. Among
I
Us.
shouldn't be laughing so much at this very tense and emotional scene.
My bad, I'm sorry. They said Among Us.
2004, motherfucker.
They shouldn't have wrote it. They should have said something else.
Among Us is a normal phrase. All right.
No, it's not.
cutting this.
Not anymore.
Finally, we heard the principal's bell ringing. The teacher came back with Sadako and Rika-chan at her side.
My favorite thing about the recent Architect's Place thing is like all the Among Us.
The like Among Us pixel art.
And how like some guy tweeted like it's insane how like these Among Us guys have created a new form of dithering, like image interpolation. It's true though. It's true.
It's literally accurate.
You can literally like stare at it for hours and find more Among Us.
Dude, I fucking hate Among Us and what it's done to society.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
Is this Chie? Yeah.
All right. We're starting afternoon class. Class president, please. Everybody stand up.
Get it?
That Meon delivery felt really weird.
Oh, I'm sorry. How rude of me. I couldn't read anything from Sadako's vaguely sheepish expression.
but given the clouded look Rika-chan was wearing behind her, it was tough to laugh off the disquieting story I'd heard from Mion. I, almost forgot how to read Mion's name. I literally saw M-I-O-N and I was like, Yeah. Why'd they write it like that?
All right.
Yeah, but you could just written alright, you know? My brain wants to read it in ooh woo.
All right.
All white? You know what I mean?
You actually hurt my ear. So
Alright. No. I gotta read it like it was written. All white. First time in a while everyone's been here. Let's all have a roaring good time with the whole club. Yeah, perfect. Indeed, in times like these, the best thing to do was obviously get rowdy and scheme against one another in a club activity.
Just what I was waiting for. Hey, Satoko-chan, let's play.
I'm sorry. I had a thought.
you gotta stop having thoughts.
I'm sorry. You know the video with the cat that falls out of the wheelchair?
No.
Alright, I gotta pull it up after this. I'm just imagining
Pull it up at Vespucci's.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. It's just...
If we're even gonna make it on time.
Yeah, we'll be fine. I have a timer. I was gonna say, we're leaving when my timer goes off. There was that game you liked, wasn't there? What was it again? It doesn't matter which. Tell me. Tell me. Mion laughed happily, took a bunch of games out of the club locker, and lined them up on the desks. I think that was the first time Mion ever let someone else decide on a game for her. I could tell she was being especially considerate to Satoko. Thinking that, whatever her circumstances, if we could just enjoy our time together as a group, that might be some comfort, some diversion. Satoko seemed to understand her feelings, too, and smiled vaguely, though pleased. But her head slowly moved from side to side. I'm very grateful, but your feelings are enough. There are many things I need to do, so... Even Rika-chan hung her head in remorse. Hey, whoa, seriously? All the club members are here for once and we're not playing anything? Desertion in the face of the enemy. What was the punishment game for it? What part of the club constitution was that in?
Stop it, Mi-chan. We can't force her to play with us.
Hey, this old man isn't trying to force her or anything. I just thought it would be more fun for sure if we did something exciting. Really, I'm happy that you feel that way. Don't worry, next we meet you'll see. I'll get you all caught in a gigantic trap. Oh. Satoko, while insulting us, still said that she couldn't participate in the club today and apologized. She quickly put her things into her bag and pattered out into the hallway, disappearing. It all happened in the blink of an eye.
Satoko.
Me.
Me.
Rika-chan stared lonesomely as her friend hurried home, unable to be part of club activities. Mion just punches the fucking table. Silence filled the classroom. Both the cheerful voices of our classmates in the schoolyard and the voices of the cicadas sounded like they were coming from some faraway world. This is boring. The silence was broken by Mion's bitterness as she began putting the games on the desk back into the locker. Everyone just stared absently at Satoko's seat, now empty.
Rika-chan, maybe you could tell us about it now?
Rina made a gentle smile, as she possibly could. Rina made as gentle a smile as she possibly could, and spoke softly to Rika-chan. Even without hearing it from her, we pretty much knew the situation at this point. Satoko's uncle had broken up with his lover and come back to Hinamizawa. and he had taken Sadako back home and forced her to do all the household work. And that all had to be pretty rough on her. Thinking this was common knowledge to everyone, I skipped to the important part. God damn it, Keiichi. Is it really bad? Maybe Mion and Rina wanted to ask the same question. Nobody spoke. We all just stared, waiting for Rika-chan's reply. Rika-chan still didn't answer us. We were hoping for her to say no, but her silence was a bad enough sign. Last year, was it? It was like this when both her uncle and his wife were here, right?
Yeah. At the time, they were mostly just being caught between their aunt and uncle's fighting. One of the ways we helped out was with the club, by reducing her time at home as much as we could, but...
He's making her do the chores now, so she can't stay at school either.
Shit. Sadako's not a slave. Who do you think you are, ignoring your own inability to live prosperously and basically... Fuck! Who do you think you are, ignoring your own inability to live properly and basically putting Sadako under house arrest? Yeah, here we go. When you think about it, isn't this really strange? We need a lot of circumstantial evidence, but isn't this abuse? Can't we notify the police or something?
You're right. If we had evidence she was being abused, I think we could tell the police. I think we could tell the police. And can't we talk to the... Okay. And can't we talk to the region's welfare people about this?
Oishi. Rina and I kept saying police, police, as though it were nothing. But Mion's response sounded like she thought we were a little naive.
It's easy for you to say that. Have you thought about the risks of actually getting proof?
What do you mean, risks?
I think it was 2 winters ago. We reported it. To the Child Consolation Center.
Consultation.
Fuck. To the Child Consultation Center. We told them there was abuse happening and to do something right away.
Huh? You did? What happened?
A person came as soon as we called. She interviewed Satoko and Satoshi about what was going on, and then their uncle and his wife too.
I can understand asking Satoko and Satoshi, but wouldn't it be not so good to talk to their aunt and uncle?
They said they'd base their judgment on what they heard from both sides. Great of them, wasn't it?
So, what did they decide to do?
Wait and see.
What? What do you mean, wait and see?
The uncle really studied up on this stuff. By law, you can't call it abuse unless someone admits to assault or child neglect. They poked and prodded Sadako and Satoshi a lot, but it never left any real marks on them. They were pretty much eating 3 meals a day and had beds, and there weren't any recordings or something like that to prove they'd said or done anything to cause them psychological trauma. None of the villagers had ever actually seen them being violent either. No matter how mean you are, you wouldn't act so violent in front of other people. Nobody would.
That was like a biblical Mion line.
Then, what happened?
The welfare officer apparently went to visit on the same day each week for a while. The aunt and uncle knew they were being watched, though, and didn't torment them in any way that would stand out. Of course, that wasn't the end of it.
You mean they ramped up how malicious they were being?
Mion sighed and... oh.
Mion sighed and nodded.
Their aunt was really damn stubborn. She's one of the most spiteful people I've ever known. Apparently, she was doing some pretty disgusting things. Sadako was like a doll that did nothing but breathe by the end of it.
So what? From that conclusion, does that mean they never should have contacted child welfare in the first place?
Understand? Without proof of abuse so clear anyone could see it, there's nothing we can do. In fact, it might even make the situation worse. We messed up pretty bad.
After hearing that, even public organizations, the one thing they thought was dependable, couldn't do anything. Everyone hung their heads.
In other words, until we have clear evidence of the abuse, we shouldn't notify anyone?
Well, I mean, basically, yeah.
Just let Mion's fucking Yakuza take care of it. They already killed his girlfriend. They can fucking kill him. They know where he is.
Right?
Just let Sadako go to school, and then they like cut him in half, and that's the end of it, you know?
I considered Sadako's current situation. She was brought back to her house. It was a little difficult to call that abuse. She was being tormented and forced to do the chores. How she was being tormented would be the key, but without concrete evidence, it would be difficult to prove. If she had some kind of external injury, that would work. But as far as we could tell from today, she had nothing like that. And being forced to do the chores, that was a bit weak too. There had to be better evidence that she was without a doubt being abused. Ah, I know. Her uncle had ignored Sadako's existence for a whole year and went to live with his lover in town. Didn't that fall under one of the definitions of abuse that Mion had mentioned? Child neglect?
Yeah, it's the perfect case of child neglect. What about that, Mi-chan?
If her uncle weren't here now, it could be recognized as child neglect. But he's living with her at the moment, isn't he? They were apart before, but if he said something like he had a change of heart and decided to live with her, then they might just wait and see again.
Once we reported it, we would need to be absolutely sure they'd interpret it as abuse. Maybe we needed far more concrete evidence, lest we repeat last year's mistake.
So they let Sadako come to school, and then they just beat the shit out of her? And then they claim it on that guy, you know?
That is a very
You know what I mean?
unique
You know what-
solution there,
Yeah.
Connor.
Yeah, it totally worked. It totally fucking worked. What's he gonna say? He didn't do it?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
They'd be like, why these knuckle imprints line up with Mion's? No. They're his. He took her hands.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
What do you mean?
It's sad. This means we need to sit quietly and wait for him to be violent towards Sadako-chan and leave a mark, don't we?
You never heard of fabricating evidence before, Tyler?
Ugh.
The only plan I could think of, in the end, just watching and waiting. It left me in shock when I realized that it would be the same policy as that of the officials who had made the situation worse. As Mion said, reporting it to a public agency would be a gamble. If we're going to pick a fight, it would have to be one we couldn't afford to lose. If we were gambling, without enough money, without enough evidence, our defeat would be assured. If we took this time to amass enough money that we could be sure of victory, then that would mean pretending we didn't see Sadako's plight for a considerable amount of time. Sorry for bringing this up now, but how is Rika-chan able to live by herself?
She does nothing.
Rika just, she doesn't need sustenance. She actually photosynthesizes. Yeah. That's why she's in the shrine, all the sun and all that shit. She lays on the rock and just is nutritioned.
Neutralized.
That's neutralized.
I know. I know.
That's my favorite joke. That is my favorite joke. Tyler laughs because I just looked him in the eyes and I had a big smile on my face and I just went to a completely blank, flat expression. And my favorite joke. Rika-chan had lost her parents, if I recalled correctly. From what I'd heard, she'd had no relatives either. She was forced to live on her own as a result, but her life was unfettered, free of restriction. If she could somehow grant that freedom to Satoko too... I mean, Rika-chan, you're living without any parents, right? Don't kids with no guardians have to go to orphanages? I'm sorry. That's just like such an awful thing to say.
Exactly.
Like, Rika, you should be in an orphanage. Fuck you.
Oh my god.
Don't kids with no guardians have to go to orphanages and stuff?
Keiichi-kun, that's cruel.
It's just such an awful thing to say. I'm not saying it to be mean. I only asked because I thought maybe there would be a hint to saving Satoko. Rika-chan, sorry if I offended you. Rika-chan shook her head, not particularly disturbed. It's because she does heroin.
Well, you see, it's because I'm considered the mayor's daughter.
Wait, really?
Alright. Let me explain. The mayor, Old Man Kimiyoshi, is Rika-chan's guardian.
Oh.
He got official permission from the governor of the prefecture.
Oh.
Shut up. Shut up. I thought it was gonna be some like weird Hinamizawa bullshit that's just like, oh, he's a legal guardian. Like, that's so boring. Like, come on. So, you're adopted. Is that, who's saying that?
Mion.
No, not adopted. You can be someone's guardian without being in the same family.
Oh, I get it. Rika-chan lives by herself, but by law, she's considered to live with the mayor, right?
Yeah, basically. That's how Rika-chan avoids being sent to an orphanage. Actually, it would be Child and Family Services, not an orphanage.
You fucking dirty orphan.
Meep. That's so mean. I don't understand the hard things, but anyway, she's right.
I don't understand the hard things. Interesting you should say that, Mion. You could be someone's guardian even if they're in another family. Then shouldn't we have the mayor or someone else become Satoko's guardian, if only on paper? You can't do that, because her uncle's alive, Keiichi. Then she'd be in the same position as Rika-chan. And she could go back to her old life. Yeah, it's like her uncle's... What, are you gonna kill her uncle?
I don't know, is he? What's the plan here? He's staring at me. He's giving me the eyes.
Keiichi,
crazy eyes.
Keiichi takes Rika's heroin and Satoshi's bat. And he creates a chemical weapon where he attaches he attaches the needle to the tip of the bat. And so he stabs him and has him OD on heroin, then just beats the shit out of him while he's on the ground.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
That sounds very accurate.
Yeah, you know that she has it, bro. Or he hits him with the timeline juice and sends him to the next timeline. And then he's gone and he just evaporates from this timeline.
But then he's in the next timeline, and then there's two Tepes!
But it solves the problem in this one. It's like the ancient Nords, you know? They sent Alduin forward in time for someone else to deal with it.
Fucking idiots.
It's the same thing. Just let new Keiichi deal with it, you know?
God.
Who cares?
The definition of kicking the can down the road.
Too bad it won't work. I mean, her uncle is supposedly her guardian.
Wait a minute. You lost me there. What's a guardian exactly, anyway? In legal terms, a guardian and a parent weren't necessarily synonyms. So, whoever was actually looking after her at home would be considered her guardian.
then her uncle isn't her guardian. He left Sadako by herself for so long. It's not how the law works, Keiichi.
But if he insists he's her guardian, then that's it. It's been a few days since Sadako was taken back to her house. Her uncle's been paying for her meals since then, right? He is sort of looking after her, so he'd probably insist. And even though he abandoned her for a year, he'd already looked after her for the whole year before that. But the mayor doesn't have that kind of history.
So then, if both the mean uncle and the mayor request guardianship at the same time, the uncle would make more sense.
No, but he'd have a better chance. The term guardian refers to the person actually caring for her, right? The uncle actually has a bed and food for her, but the mayor would just have his name. It wouldn't even be a contest.
Then, shouldn't the mayor just start caring for her for real? He'd be her guardian in name and reality if he did. We just need to shelter Sadako. That might lead to her uncle being desperate to take her back, but we'll stubbornly refuse him. It's not how the law works, Keiichi.
It won't be that easy. Sadako is a growing girl, you know. It's not like giving someone a cat. You're asking him to take care of a real person.
Then Coach. What about Coach? Coach, I don't know. He's got a lot of money, right? He even said it himself. Even if he's not her real father, Coach could become her guardian. And Coach would be great at taking care of her.
Stop that. Stop thinking of Sadako like a pet. All you're doing is talking about pushing her onto someone else. You need to think more seriously about how much responsibility it is to take care of another human being. Did you ask him? Did you get an actual promise from him that he'd take Sadako under his care?
No, I didn't. But Coach would definitely say yes.
Huh. Well, fine. Even considering the 0% probability of Coach saying it was okay, then what? It still wouldn't work. He couldn't become a guardian all by himself.
Gah. That's right. Coach, didn't he say it himself? He was alone, so he couldn't do it. Shit. What the hell? Why is being single such a disadvantage in this society?
I don't know, Keiichi, why? Why is this... Why is it such a disadvantage, Keiichi?
I had to try so hard to get through that line. I have to try so hard to read that fucking line first try. As soon as I saw why is being single, I was like, this is gonna be a banger of a fucking line, dude. We live in a society.
We live in a society.
Then, all you could do is marry into a wealthy family, couldn't you?
We're gonna marry off Coach so that he can take Satoko.
Is there anyone that wealthy in Hinamizawa? I'm not sure.
Keiichi is just grasping at every straw in the fucking room right now.
He's desperate, bro.
See? It's not simple. It's hard to adopt someone. And you can't go into it thinking you'll push Sadako onto someone else just for a little while. You're being naive, Kei-chan.
Shit! Damn it! What the hell? I'm desperately thinking of how to save Sadako, and all you're saying is no, no! Don't you care about Sadako at all? Are you even worried about our friend one bit? What do you have to say for yourself?
Why is Keiichi mentally fucking, like, deficient?
I didn't mean that. But it just won't be that easy, and...
It's not that difficult a problem. We just need to have some rich people look after Sadako for a while. That's all. Right? What about your family, Mion? You always brag about how great it is being one of the 3 families or whatever, don't you? From what you've said, you must live in a gigantic house.
My house? No, that won't happen. My grandma would never allow it.
Then what about your relatives in Okinomiya? From what I heard, they're living in luxury themselves. There's plenty of shops your relative manage in town, too. Your family are basically millionaires, aren't they?
No, that won't work. Going to Okinomiya is even more out of the question. My father, he'd never let it happen either.
Ever.
Fuck. We have to leave. I like how Keiichi is now trying to push this problem onto Mion.
This is such a bad time to fucking stop.
I know.
Alright.
Hey! Normally you act like some high and mighty bigwig, and now you're being all spineless? What the hell? Are you just going to sit by and watch Sadako suffer?
No, I don't, but... I mean, I wanted to help her as much as you, but that's a different story.
How is it a different story? How can you be so cold-hearted? Your friend is in trouble. What are you if you don't rescue her? You're our president. Our club president. Save her. Save her from this crisis. If you don't save her right now, you're not her friend. You're not even human. I don't know if you have any humanity left in you. Are you listening to me, Mion? Why is Keiichi popping the fuck off right now, dude? Holy Keiichi classic.
It is a Keiichi classic.
Like, we haven't even done anything for this to be unhinged Keiichi yet. My man's is such a fucking needy.
He's been
for
psyching
Sadako.
himself out ever since the last day of the night of the barbecue.
Yeah. I guess there were like 2 days that we missed, huh?
3 days.
Yeah, okay, alright. I'll give it to him. My emotions all exploded out of me, and I didn't even give her a chance to say anything in response. I just wanted to make Mion agree with me, even if I had to force her. If she did, Sadako's problems would be solved. If pushing her would solve the issue, then I'd push her as much as I needed to. Thank you. Keiichi, dude! Calm down! Why aren't you saying anything anymore? I'm asking you, asshole! Well, say something, Mion Sorazaki!
Me?
Keiichi's popping the fuck off, dude. He's going off on his fucking twit longer. Mion, looking down with a grim face, began sobbing.
He made me cry!
Laughing!
It's how he copes.
God damn it, Keiichi. No, Tyler knows. It's literally what I do.
Why is he like this?
He's really funny, man.
Her hands were clenched into trembling fists, and she rubbed her eyes to wipe away the tears. Was what I said actually that mean? This isn't the time to cry. We're in the gambling room right now, and we have to do something to save Sadako. And as I thought that, Rena spoke, her voice cold and incredibly calm. Rena's about to flame the shit out of him.
Keiichi-kun, if Me-chan's family won't work, then what if we looked for another wealthy family? I know someone in Hinamizawa who lives in a nice, big house.
Who's that?
Oh, come on. You got a splendid family, and you're leaving it out of things?
I don't know why Keiichi doesn't like default to like his family, right? Like he loves Sadako. Like literally, what are you doing?
What are you doing, dog? My family? My family is...
Your friends, right? Stay for Keiichi-kun. Me-chan is cold-hearted after all. Since you are so considerate towards friends, you should lead by example. Just the three of you are living in that huge house, right? Then you've probably got plenty of spare rooms. You should just give a few of the empty ones to Sadako-chan. And then her worries will be all over. What's this? We're done already? That was pretty quick. Okay, great. Congratulations on solving the problem. Then are we done for today? I'm gonna go home. Hooray, hooray! Maybe I'll go treasure hunting. I haven't done that in a while. I was so worried about Sadako-chan until now that... I didn't feel like going to play at all. I wonder what I'll find today. How? Say something, will you? Why am I the only one talking? Say something, you bastard! Are you listening, Keiichi Maebara?
Rena's so based.
She's got the eyes.
She's so based.
What happened?
Keiichi's being retarded. And
Keiichi fucking made Mion cry and pissed Rena off.
Why? What'd he do?
So Keiichi's
Just
trying to
zone
save
the fuck out.
Sadako by having Mion do something about it because Mion's family's rich, right? But Keiichi's family's also rich, so Rena, in retaliation after making Mion cry, she's like, "Oh, if you're so nice and rich and wonderful, maybe you should do something about it." And like she's digging into him.
She's just regurgitating everything that
And
he
she's
said.
got the eyes.
She's got the eyes, yeah. This is the Oyashiro-sama eyes. Even the cicadas seemed to cower in fear. Rena, her shoulders bobbing up and down, and me, who had forgotten to breathe. Mion, whose face has gone completely pale, and Rika-chan, who was keeping silent as if nothing had happened. The atmosphere in the classroom grew tight and stiff, and it petrified us where we stood. Rattle. The sound of the chair as Rena sat back down after having stood up finally allowed everyone present to take a breath. Rena had shown me just how much I'd hurt Mion.
Rena's scary.
Why does Keiichi only bully Mion? After a few moments, Rika-chan cut into the frozen air.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Rika-chan. Mi-chan, I'm sorry to you too. I don't have to apologize to you, do I, Keiichi-kun?
Fucking rolled? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being so unreasonable.
Were you saying all that to me before? You said it while glaring at Mi-chan, so I totally thought you were talking to her.
Rena's cracked, dude. She's just, like, better Keiichi, you know?
She's like the most considerate person there. She's her personality's just.
Rena's great.
Mhm.
Rena had such strength that you wouldn't have imagined it normally. All I did was spout terrible things as a wave of violent fury passed over me. I couldn't contend with her. Mion, I'm sorry. I lost my cool. Lost a hell of a lot more than that, bro.
Didn't have anything to lose, bro.
Come to think of it, I didn't understand what had gotten me that riled up. I thought of myself as Sadako's Nini, so I only had good intentions. That I'd think about a little harder than everyone else, and yet... I hate Mion's stupid face.
Why? Why are you like this?
It's literally the best character.
I'm a Mion hater, man.
And he likes Shion.
It's okay.
This guy, this motherfucker.
You were worrying with everything you had, but all I was saying was that nothing would work. So, I'm sorry. I did something wrong too.
Gaslight. Mion rubbed away the tears at the corner of her eyes with her fists and apologized as well. We bowed our heads to each other and looked down without glancing at the other. Someone, I don't know who, heaved a sigh. Sadako being tormented had been known about since last year. How had the tragedy back then saved Sadako? How had they brought it to an end? Right. In the end, nobody could do anything. All they could do was bear it patiently and wait for those agonizing days to end. That's right. The one who brought an end to those terrible days was some crazy drug addict nobody knew. On the night of the Watanagashi last year, their mean aunt had been beaten to death. But it hadn't been done to save Satoko or Satoshi. Right. It really was just a coincidence.
Yeah?
There is no such thing as a coincidence. We're cosmically aligned to receive this message. Sadako's friends, who needed to do something for her most of all, could do nothing. The incident may have been a tragic one, but from Sadako's viewpoint, it was nothing less than a miracle. Yes, a miracle. A miracle one could only wait for. Is waiting all we can do?
Not for evidence of abuse. Not for something that minor. Kill.
Huh? Wait, for what?
The Sonozakis to murder her fucking uncle. A miracle. No one made fun of me for using such a crazy word. We couldn't come up with any solutions, so it was the only thing we could do.
We're powerless.
That's so cap, bro. Mion could just kill this dude. She could literally just ice this dude.
Or can.
Can she? Is it really?
If she really, she's gotta wait till the night of the Tatarigoroshi, and then she can just fucking ice this guy. It's that easy. She's Yakuza. Come on.
That one word Mion dropped was the finishing blow. It was hot. I can't say that.
Just read it.
Just read it,
My-
buddy.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh,
My body was sticky with sweat.
That's not the part I was
Oh
talking
my god.
The worst month. June.
about. I've read a lot worse in this series.
It was literally 11 minutes.
We cannot be late to Best Pussy Thursdays.
Alright.
I'd rather it be 11 minutes left than like another hour and a half, because then we
Right.
can actually get through.
Editor's note. That's that. And this is the end of that session. Okay, goodbye.
First one.
Bye-bye.